This tree was skinnier at the bottom and larger towards the top, and it kind of gave off art teacher vibes, so I gave a long chin, a long face with really bushy hair, and kind of crazy eyes because art teachers are always kind of wild and have vivid imaginations. And the ears are not too big because it wasn't that wide, but then it has stuff sticking out of it, so I imagined maybe some pencils, expo markers, pin springs, anything all up in the hair, and then on the ear they had little pencils, so they are ready to draw anything. The second tree had one skinny trunk, so I saw it as more of a child rather than a grown person. Since it divided into two different leaf categories, I drew them as pom-poms, and she's a young cheerleader, so she has the pigtails. She's wearing a little jersey that says "Go Team." The next tree reminded me of an old man because it looked really wise and like it's been around for a while. And since it's super wide, I drew the ears as being out a little bit further and a little bit bigger. And I drew some wrinkles and some spots because he's older, and he looks kind of sad because he's seen a lot, but he is very wise. This tree is different than any of the other ones I've seen based on the structure, and I kind of saw all the leaves as being one of those wigs that the fancy bourgeoisie people would wear. So I drew it as a really fancy woman who's wearing jewelry, and she has this bright, vibrant wig on, and she just looks very sophisticated. So this tree was a little palm tree. I drew the face as a rectangular square kind of shape because it was shorter than the normal ones, and the leaves I kind of made him look like dreadlocks, and he was this really cool guy with a mustache, and he just looks like he knows a lot of things. He's just super chill, just vibing out. The structure of this tree is kind of like the cheerleaders in the sense that it splits, but this one was taller and more vibrantly green and more at a right angle, so I decided to draw the profile of it. So it's the long nose and then a tall forehead, and he looks like he knows a lot about true crime and Sherlock Holmes. This tree looked very sassy and stuck up and like it could be mean to me, so I drew it as a salsa dancer because they're very fierce when they dance. So the eyebrows are very defined and they have a long kind of evilish looking smile with some crazy curly hair, kind of like the red leaves on the tree, and some small ears. And she just looks very pretty but very old and could be very rude. This one is definitely a punk rocker. He has all the spikes in his hair. So he has some dark eyeliner and a pronounced nose and kind of a scratchy beard. And he had a mohawk, but now it's just kind of all over the place. And he has earrings, and he listens to a lot of My Chemical Romance, and he has like a spike necklace. So this tree is a really stumpy, small child who's scared because they cut their own hair and it looks really bad, and so they have fear in their eyes, and the hair is just all over the place and it looks really bad, and they don't know what to tell their mom, and they're holding the scissors and they're freaking out because they don't know what to do. These three plants remind me of the three old ladies that go to the hair salon every week who judge everyone else. So the first of the hair salon trio is kind of a larger woman who's kind of older, and she's never worked a day in her life, so she's used to getting her hair done, her nails done, and just hanging out with her friends and getting tea while her husband's at work. And she loves her husband very much, but he's never really home because he's working to pay for everything she does. The second lady in the hair salon trio is younger, but she's very stuck up. She's been in private school her whole life, and she just goes to the hair salon to go. So she's getting her hair up in a ponytail, which she could have done herself, but she'd much rather spend daddy's money. The final member of the hair salon trio is a middle-aged woman who's very nervous that her husband's having an affair, so she's going to the hair salon and she's trying to make herself look pretty in an effort to make him want to stay with her. So she looks really stressed out, but she's trying to keep a almost smile for her friends. And she even got a flower in her hair because she is very beautiful, but she doesn't really feel like it, so she thinks she has to change for a man.